So, y'all listen. I'm not going to be playing no music and shit like that to give people time to get in here. I actually announced and gave people time to line this shit up and everything like that. So, we going to be kind of jumping right into this shit. All right. Hold on, I'm going to do some sharing. Let me do a little sharing. Y'all let me know how I'm sounding. Let me know if I'm audible. Hold on. Let me share this. Let everybody know we live. So everybody will get a sharing. Hold on. Let me turn that shit off. And then throw this up so when nobody say I hear it from them. Everybody will have the same, get the same work. Because let me tell you, this has been a topic of conversation. Hold on, let me do this one more, and I'm going to go ahead and do my disclaimers because I know they're going to be necessary. Y'all just let me know how I'm sounding. Can y'all hear me clearly, at least, right? We here with the audio. Y'all give me some confirmation in the comments before I continue going here. Just let me know if you can hear me clearly, and then we just going to jump right into it. Twig, Ash, what's up? TSA, what's up? Miss Jones, what's up? Okay, everybody saying they can hear. Okay, listen. So, first and foremost, shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. Black first, second, and third. Okay, let's get that out the way early. Let me also add a disclaimer about this whole entire conversation. Understand that I'm coming into this conversation not fucking with any man or woman that puts their hands on another person without provocation. And when I say provocation, I mean somebody's attacking you, you defending yourself. I won't count that against you. Motherfucker run at you with a knife, you elbow them motherfuckers in the goddamn, break their nose if you need to. That's what I'm saying. In self-defense, I don't see the sexist part of it or men strong. I don't see that. Okay? Understand that early. Everything that we know about this situation, we can probably all come to the, uniform consensus that nobody is with any type of domestic violence. Okay, I'm coming into the conversation with that energy. Okay, now I know that's going to be lost. It seems that it gets lost once you start looking at situations and really breaking down situations. That part gets lost. So what you'll find that people will do is say, well, if you even have the slightest type of seeing how things really are moving, then you must agree with the said behavior. I saw it a lot when the R. Kelly shit was going on. I saw that also a lot with the Bill Cosby shit was going on. Exactly how the media handles black people in general, in this case, black men, how the media handles that is always been racially biased. Okay? I think that we should be able to say that without agreeing with the behavior. Okay? And this is the part where black people get this shit fucked up. All right? I can disagree with the behavior and also look at this cave media and call out their bullshit and how they're doing things as well. Okay? So, what I'm going to do, if y'all are not privy to exactly what's been going on here, and everybody, again, anybody that's pro domestic violence, get the fuck out of here. If y'all, my Maj, if you see comments like that, get them people the fuck up out of here. Okay? We don't need these people around. These people are trash. All right? Let me bring this other screen up here. I'm going to play the actual just so everybody's informed in the same space. Now, as I'm playing this video, I want y'all to know, let me see, I'm going to turn it up a little bit and everything so everybody can hear it. But it's not really a matter of hearing, it's a matter of seeing this. And I know maybe you guys have seen this already, but I want to make sure I cover everything as I'm getting into this shit. I want to cover everything as I'm getting into this shit. So let's first look at the situation, because this has really been what everybody been talking about. Okay? This has been the thing. Y'all hit that like button for me on your way in. Even though you may end up not liking some of what I have to say, but still.
New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Ventura in the face, giving her...
So y'all see, this is what was leaked, okay? CNN, you know, got this, and again, this took place in 2016. They got this video, they released this video, okay? What you know, if you've been following this, is that Cassie came out here and was already speaking to the bullshit that Puff was on at that time. We saw Puff settle quickly, okay? And people were making even jokes about how fast, you know what I'm saying? Sha'Carri Richardson, basically fast, you know what I'm saying? How fast he settled this shit. And I want to say it was for about $30 million. He did that shit very quickly. So this is coming after that. After the settlement, after she's already been paid. This footage is just more, you know, I can't even say cooperation because there aren't any criminal charges being filed here. So it's not even cooperation. It's more so, let me show y'all this nigga. Okay? I'm going to show y'all how this nigga act. Basically is all this was. Okay? Again, there are no criminal charges being filed per the assault. Clearly, we see it's an assault. We saw Puff sitting here acting like, hey, everything people saying about me ain't no real shit. People out here lying on my name. Basically, this is how he tried to handle this shit. Settled with her, so we knew, based on this settlement alone and how quickly he settled, we knew something must have been there. Something's possibly there. Now, I know that people do say shit like, well, if you settle that doesn't necessarily mean you're guilty. But I disagree with that. Okay? To me, settlements just says that they must have enough evidence that even if you aren't guilty full blown, a jury may find you guilty. Okay? That's how I look at it. Even if you aren't guilty full blown, as they say, red-handed, if the evidence is produced, a jury is going to end up finding you guilty. You look at this, you look at all the evidence, and you say, you know what? I don't have faith that a jury is going to find me innocent. Settle. That's because you've done too much. Whatever it is, whatever the situation is, whatever the situation you may have been put into or put yourself into, you've done too much already. Okay? You've done too much. That's what that means. You've done so much that the shit don't look good at all. And a jury gonna fuck around and find you guilty. Okay? That's how it works. So whatever, even though he was claiming his innocence, I knew upon settlement, you done did something. You did something. You did something that don't look right. They got evidence on your motherfucking ass. But once he settled with her in that situation, then we saw that his home was raided. Remember? They ran up in that bitch like they had found El Chapo. And the feds, as we speak on the entities about the police and the feds, we act as though this is some type of righteous organization. Okay? That's how I seen people saying shit like this. I seen people saying shit like basically, well, if the feds doing it, then it must be right. We have, me and I would argue most people, we have a different relationship with the feds and the government. I have a different understanding of the feds and the government. I don't think because they do something that is just righteous. Don't believe that. I will never believe that. There isn't any amount of convincing that will make me think, well, if the feds do something, it's done because they actually have proof. They actually have merit. I don't believe that unless you done forgot or ignore the history of the FBI. Their building is the J. Edgar Hoover building. I mean, it's right there. It's very plain, very in your face, the type of shit that's going on here. I have to make myself, I don't really need to see that screen right there. It's very, so I'm never going to forgive them. I'm never going to trust them. That's never going to happen. I don't give a fuck who it's against. I'm never going to be trusting of them. And particularly with how they handle black people. Now, again, what we able to do, and what I've seen a lot of people being able to do is, well, the feds involved, it must be real. That's not how my mind works. The feds can be involved. I'm still going to be skeptical, regardless. Because that's what I've learned. That's how I've learned to look at this government. Whether it be the FBI, police, whoever the fuck it is, I look at them the same. Okay? So I don't see the feds doing something and be like, well, they must be on the right side of things. Me and you, if you think like that, then me and you have different ideologies about how this government is set up. And of course, if that's the case, then we're going to disagree on some things as far as how this government operates. But we saw the Fed raid. And everybody was saying, oh, they must got something on him. They don't just run up in your crib for no reason. Yes, they do. Like, they actually do. And it's sad that I even have to factor that in. That, okay, I would love to think, well, damn, they don't do shit for no reason. They don't run up in nobody's shit for no reason. But they do. Not only do they do it, the foot soldiers of white supremacy, the cops, 3Ks don't get this shit fucked up. They do it too. They'll run up in your shit, be in the wrong house, kill people. They do whatever the fuck they want to do. Okay? Understand this. If you think this is a conspiracy, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and just because I'm black, then, I must have some racial, axe to grind, in which case it leads to conspiracy. That's how they try to treat black people a lot of times. Y'all talking about gaslighting? Y'all love that word, but I promise you, this government is constantly gaslighting black people. The society is constantly gaslighting black people. What you mad about, nigga? How could you not trust the government, nigga? How could you not trust the cops, nigga? What reason do you have to not trust these people? I got to scroll to not trust these people. So when I saw the feds run up in Puff shit, I said, okay, the feds run up in this shit. Don't know what they collect or anything like that. I saw them, locking up his sons. I believe they locked up his sons. Now, one of his sons is dumb, okay? One of his sons, at least one, it could be more than one, but on record, one of his sons is dumb, okay? And I can only imagine he got that type of idiocy and arrogance from Puff, directly from Puff. One of his sons made a diss track recently. I did not listen to the fucking diss track. I don't even know the boy's name. He's dumb. What I do know is in the song, he suggested basically the feds ran up in this crib. They don't know we own the crib next door. They didn't run up in that one. And you would think with your father going through what he's going through, if you're going to be on the side of your father, you don't say stupid shit like that. So at least one of his sons is an absolute idiot. Okay? Christian, thank you, grinding hard. Christian Combs is a fucking idiot. All right? That was not something you say. Whether you're trying to big up you don't do that. And then you'll have rappers that get mad when they go inside of a court and their lyrics are used against them. This is the reason why. Because why the fuck would you say that? And your dad is dealing with the feds run up in his shit. You don't say that. It doesn't make any sense to me. Son is dumb. And I would argue he followed in the footsteps of his dad. Now, before I go any further, let's talk about Puff. All right? Because this is one of the things that I'm seeing too. Let's talk about people's, I guess, worship of these celebrities. Because this must be dealt with. Okay? I hate I got to deal with it, but I must deal with this. Before this happened, I didn't fuck with Puff. If you've been following me for years, you know celebrities, I don't fuck with them anyway. The rich, famous, I don't fuck with them anyway. They're capitalists and they do money over everything. Okay? Know that. Y'all know this about me. People get mad at me because of the stance I have on celebrities. I don't give a fuck which one of them it is. People get mad at me. I've taken that anger over the years. Okay? From their fans, the fanatics. Okay? I just got through through that when I talked about Kendrick and Drake. It doesn't matter. If you're a fanatic, people are fans. They don't like you saying anything negative. They really don't appreciate you unless you're worshiping, unless you're on your knees praising these people. Fans will act like you're disrespecting them, and thus they'll disrespect you on whoever the artist is or the celebrity is behalf. I don't fuck with Puff. I don't fuck with Puff because he's anti-black. Okay? That's before all of this shit that's going on now. I don't fuck with Puff because he's anti-black. I came to that conclusion based on how he treats his black artists. Okay? How he treats the artists that have worked for him or that have been signed to him. To me, that's anti-black. You fucking over your own people for your pockets to get fatter? You anti-black. You don't rectify that in any type of way? The whole time you just fucking over black people like that? Anti-black to me. So I wasn't fucking with him for that. And then I called him out when he did this, when he started this Revolt TV shit. Because now y'all watched Making the Band. Some of y'all were the type of people that would watch Making the Band. That made Puff this figure to you. You watched him put these people through all that bullshit. And to you, that was something that entertained you. Make him walk for fucking cheesecake. That was something that people liked. I never. Why would you treat black people like that? Why would you do that? It's already difficult for black people as is. You have a show where you show how basically what you can make people do when they're desperate and trying to get a deal or trying to get that, get signed. I never agreed with that. Not one time. People did, right? Watch the show. Then this man has the audacity to get on Revolt TV like this. Y'all done seen him. And I went in on his ass then too. This man is on Revolt TV. Well, once he started Revolt TV, now one, y'all thought that was going to be some revolutionary shit for black people. Don't know why. Anything attached to Puff, anything attached to even like Jay-Z, it's not this. Okay? Understand it's not this. You fall for that, I never do. This is where we have our disconnect. Okay? When I see these people, I don't see people that are pro-black. I see people that are pro-money. That's what I see. So my relationship with Puff, I already didn't fuck with him at all. I already decided that he was anti-black. I already decided any form of glimpse of pro-blackness from him was performative and fake and used to manipulate people into making us believe that he's pro-black. And to me, that is treason. You fake ass nigga. Now, of course, people told me take it easy on Puff. Because to me, where people saying, well, when they see smoke, there's fire. When I see somebody anti-black, that's fire. Like, that ain't even smoke. To me, that's already full-blown sick. They pro-money. And then he was able to change his name to something love and rebrand into some love and his heart and all this shit. All this money he got, liquors, which I disagree with black people making liquors all the time. Seems to be all we want to contribute to the market out here is liquor. Let's make more liquor. I disagree with that. I've talked about that. People disagree with me about that. That's okay. But I'm trying to show that I never fuck with him. So when people are messaging me, because I made some comments, people are messaging me telling me, well, you need to cancel Puff. I can't cancel him. I don't fuck with him. You did. You cancel him. I knew he wasn't worth a fuck because he was anti-black. That's all I need. Everything else in a person's character, I look at and I shrug like, okay, that's to be expected. They're anti-black. Pro-money. These rich motherfuckers get away with a lot of shit. They get arrogant. A lot of them forget that they're even black. Even though they'll fake this shit. They forget. You black. I know he forgot he was black because this motherfucker after this video came out of him abusing Cassie, this motherfucker and made an apology. I'm disgusted with my actions. I was disgusted with him then, and I'm disgusted with him now. That's what you're apologizing for? You never apologize to any of these artists that you fucked out of millions of dollars. You never apologize for any of that. This performative pro-black shit, you never apologize for any of that either. So you're apologizing for this because the video done came out, 8-year-old video, mind you. The video done came out. Now you're apologizing about your actions for that. Nigga, to me, you wasted your time apologizing anyway. First of all, you forgot you was black. Apologies don't work for black people. While you had your fist up, you should have been reading, doing some research and paying attention to what's really going on out here. Apologies don't work for black people. Black man, you think you get to apologize and reinvent and No. That's how I know you don't know shit about blackness, really. You just talk this bullshit talk. That's who Puff is. I never fucked with him. I don't fuck with none of them. Any of these capitalists that society worships because they have this money, I don't worship them. I know what they're willing to do and what they do to get that money. And it's fuck you. That's how they get paid. That's the only way you get to that point. It's fuck you. That's the only way. You don't make it to that type of money no other way than fuck you. So I don't fuck with none of that. So I can't cancel him. Okay? I never bought into the subscription. Okay? I wasn't paying the monthly dues. Okay? I don't follow him on social media. I don't worship or like his fucking pictures when he do something. I don't do none of that. Because I've been seeing he was on some bullshit the whole time. The Black Boule. Now, this is where we get into where people going to be talking about conspiracy. This is conspiracy theories. The Black Boule is conspiracy. No, it's these rich niggas over here. It's these rich niggas that pattern themselves after the cave rich motherfuckers. They do the same. It's the same stuff. They will mimic the cave behavior to a T. And then when they get caught up, they think they can do what caves do and come out here and apologize. Puff, you must have wasn't paying attention, my boy. You don't get to do what caves do. What caves can come on here and apologize. And their society, their people will forgive them. They do that. This is why Donald Trump can talk about sexually assaulting a woman and still have support and didn't even have to apologize. I'm grabbing pussies around here, basically. Y'all not the same. Y'all black men and women. Well, in particular, when we're going to deal with black men. I'm not going to deal with black women right now. This is going to be for you black men. Who the fuck do you think you are once you get money? Do you think you're a man with money? Does the black just fall off the front of your title? You're a black man with money. You must forgot that just the black just falls off and y'all want to copy white folk. All these sick, degenerate ass fucking parties and shit. You want to do these eyes wide shut parties. Now, y'all young folk ain't gonna know what Eyes Wide Shut. Y'all might not. This Tom Cruise movie called Eyes Wide Shut. Y'all know nothing about that. Some of y'all do know something about that. You don't get to do what they... And then you hearing these weird stories about these fucking parties. You seeing people like Usher Raymond coming out and talk about living with Puff when he was 13 years old and the type of shit that was going on around him. The type of shit his entire clique enabled for him to do for years. They enabled this behavior. Black men, when you get money, you don't then get to turn around and be degenerate like the fucking caves. And they tell you all the time that money don't mask who you are. It brings it out even more to the forefront. So you sexually degenerate motherfuckers, you abusive motherfuckers will just be exposed more. And your victim pool grows. Whereas you think you done paid somebody off, maybe they'll be quiet because it was said that Puff paid $50,000 for this shit not to be disclosed. Now, me, if I have this footage, you give me more than $50,000 goddamn dollars. Like, I'm about to be set for life off your motherfucking ass. Like, I don't even understand the $50,000, but that was what was said. I don't know if it's true. But if I got this type of footage, I'm a millionaire, multi-millionaire off Puff. Hear me? Multi-millionaire. Okay? You're not giving me 50,000. I'm going to sit down nowhere. That's not happening. Millionaire. Easy. Okay? Millionaire. But this man been engaged in this behavior. So I can't cancel him. I don't have new words for him, if that makes sense. All I have is me reiterating the same things I've already said about this motherfucker. And now we got the caveat of this video coming out. And now with more people coming out and exposing his behavior, his abusive behavior. And the tendency for him and a lot of these rich people, these rich men in particular, that wield that power over women, and it turns into abuse. Why the fuck can't that must be a conversation to be had? Because to me in society, once women basically telling the world like, I'm for sale, that means the men looking to buy know they can treat you any old type of motherfucking way. And they know they can pay you to cover your bruises. This is why when I saw this shit, when I saw this, and when the video jumps out here, and I knew that the video had no real reason for it to be out here other than to smear Puff's already smeared image. That's all it was for. It was just a little extra. Almost like, as they say, a cherry on top. That's all it's for. There is no legal ramifications coming from this in particular as far as the domestic violence was concerned, or the assault was concerned, or is concerned, rather. There ain't no charges coming. It's outside of statute of limitation. There's no criminal cases being brought up as far as the actual assault of on a female. That's not happening. That's not what this is. They dealing with him about sex trafficking and drugs. Okay? That's what they're supposedly, looking for charges for: sex trafficking and drugs. This ain't got nothing to do with that. But they knew if we put this video out here, no matter how we catch him, the public will say that he deserves this based on his actions here. They knew that. They know how people's minds work. Now, even if the feds do what they do a lot more than they actually admit to, set him up, basically, because they can't make their case. And y'all have watched cop shows. Y'all know a lot of times there be motherfuckers that's guilty, and the people that's on the show just can't make the case. So sometimes what they have to do is cut corners. They're cutting corners. In Puff's case, nobody's going to care that the government or whatever entity is cutting corners, because the image is going to be already now is that he deserves it, no matter how they catch him. He like a Pokemon now. Him and his whole team. I hope they catch him all. Because now he's disgusting. So now we are greenlighting the government to do whatever they want to that nigga. That's what people are doing. Me? I never fuck with him anyway, so I'm not necessarily doing that. But I have to look at it and I try to wonder and figure out who the fuck black people be thinking they are when they get money. And y'all saw the fucking video. That was disgusting behavior. But in my mind, I'm like, well, I have a different understanding or a different outlook on domestic violence. I have a different outlook. Hold on, I'm going to get some of y'all's comments in 1 second. Let me say this and I'll do some of y'all's comments, then we get back into it. Because I do want to make sure that I'm engaging you guys in this conversation, because I do want to hear from you. This may make people mad what I'm about to say, but I really don't give a fuck. It's my true self. I would be lying if I didn't say this, okay? My understanding about domestic violence. The first time a motherfucker puts their hand on you without provocation at all, and you know there's no provocation, you get the fuck out of there. He shouldn't be able to buy you a Birkin and you stay. Okay, and then we're talking about rich couples. Now, I've been around this type of what I would call just one-time violence against women. I've been around that in regular positions. These rich niggas take it to another degree. They take it a step up. Like, they'll do something fucked up to a woman and then buy her something and she'll stay. At that point, the woman in question, I don't have no sympathy for her. I'm sorry. But not really, Like, this is really how I think. That first time, my heart goes out. My heart goes out. Especially type motherfuckers that literally sit around punching women, trying to knock women the fuck out. I've really been telling you, in my heart, I be wishing that women really, really put themselves in position to defend themselves against these motherfuckers, okay? But outside of that, once you go back, my shoulders go up, them bitches come back down, and I'm done with it. I've dealt with that before in my real life, where you're trying to intervene in somebody getting their ass whooped by a man. And I learned this very early, because this was in middle school. I was in middle school at this time when I first dealt with this shit. I had a homegirl that I used to hang with, and the dude that she was dealing with, he was my homie too. But I used to see him beating her ass. This is middle school. And I tried to intervene. Taking up for her. Next week, they right back dealing with each other. So what I learned then, and of course, it reinforced itself throughout my life. The times that I've, even just for work, like, why are you letting somebody do you like that? You can just leave. Now, it's not that I don't understand how these men operate, how they try to isolate people. Okay? Isolate you from your family and shit like that. Especially when you're talking about these rich motherfuckers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Cassie was an artist. Not a very good artist, but an artist of some kind. She was an entertainer of some kind. I don't know. I don't understand the person that's willing to go through everything to get next to or to be signed. Like, again, I wouldn't even have walked to no goddamn cheesecake, motherfucker. Are you serious? So I got a problem. I know I probably would never be famous because I got that issue. Okay? I got them problems. You're not going to embarrass me. This is what the reason I never did the sorority or fraternity shit. You don't just get to embarrass me for me to join you. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You don't get to embarrass me and I get next to you and I look at it as, well, at least this, or well, at least they doing that. But I'm going to be disrespected, but they're going to bring me in to the fold. I don't understand that mentality. Not for men, not for women, not for anybody. But with Cassie being an entertainer, the fact that she sat around and let this shit happen like this, because that wasn't the first time he had ever shown that side of himself. She decided it was worth it, whatever it was. Because I've tried to ask questions about this. What makes it worth it? I don't get straight answers. And then you have the battered woman syndrome. Okay? But understanding that the battered woman becomes, you have to be on a process of being battered to get that syndrome. If women was one time, you got one motherfucking time to put your goddamn hands on me. And I'm out. And I am out. It's a little different if you say you out and a nigga comes to where you are, kidnaps you, brings you back. That's a little different. That's not the situation usually. Usually there's some apology. I won't never do it again. We know that's, as the young folks say, cap. They're not doing that. The apology isn't real. They're going to up the ante. It's going to get worse. If it was a slap, it's going to be a punch next time. If it was a punch, and it's going to be broken ribs next time. Throwing you downstairs and shit. I've seen some vile shit. And I'm going to tell you what's even crazier to me is the fact that the men with daughters can still behave this way. Puff got daughters. He got daughters. Now, I imagine he probably think if it was his daughters, he'd go kill a nigga. Because that's what we say, right? That's what men say. Man, motherfucker do that shit to my daughter. I'm killing him. I'm fucking him up. Now, I got daughters and I feel that shit in my heart. I'm serious. I don't give a fuck how much money the motherfuckers got. I'm coming for heads. But money seems to be the buffer. It seems to be the ice, essentially, on the ice, that money. When we're dealing with in this space where we're talking about Cassie and Puff. Like, what the fuck was you doing with staying there? I don't feel that sympathy. I don't. I'm not going to get on here and lie like I do. Does that mean I agree with men brutalizing women? Absolutely not. I think them motherfuckers should be deaded completely. Early, though. Okay? Not after years of abuse. Now. That's how I feel. She must have thought it was a benefit to staying with him for as long as she did. She signed up for it, literally. So I don't have the sympathy that everybody having where they trying to make it into this big, like, no, she was an artist in her own right. She could have been, had money of her own right. Maybe not as much as him, but you're not you're not a completely somebody who doesn't have any resources whatsoever. There are some women that get trapped on an island. They don't have any resources whatsoever. In this situation, that's not what happened here. It's not what happened. Now let me get to some of y'all's comments. Because I'm gonna tell you, people was trying to tell me based on how I was talking about it that I agreed with him. I know. Whatever comments you want me to read, go ahead and put them in here now. Because I haven't been looking. Y'all know I be zoned in sometime. Put them in here now. We're gonna get back into it. We're gonna get back into it. Dreamer says Weinstein chased down victims with Mossad agents. Puff had the same abilities. He'd had to show me. It'd have had to be a Mossadi motherfucker coming to get me. I damn sure wouldn't hear the threat, and that's going to be enough. Nor would that be enough for my daughter. There's no way I'm going to convince a child of mine that, well, they got resources, so there's nothing you can do. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn Mossad. I don't care about that type of shit. Again, I'm not saying that people can't. People can factor in all this shit and make excuses for these motherfuckers to not be able to leave. I don't think that way. And I will not. I don't give a fuck if it's Mossad. I don't give a fuck if it's trained assassins. I don't give a fuck if it's the goddamn Marines. I don't care who it is. I don't give a fuck. They would have had to come get him. They would have had no choice. GD says celebrity worship going on. Celebrity worship. You know how people are. It's okay. Now, this, I don't know. London Link says, didn't he allegedly blow up Kid Cudi car just saying, how do you leave? I've heard that. I've heard that he does have ways to do things. But at that point, here's my thing, yo. When we make self-defense one way, well, when we make it seem like offense only works one way. If somebody's the offense is coming like this, then I can't do anything to stop that. I don't think that way. Okay? I don't think anything like that. I'm not saying that Puff don't have the ability, but I know I can go buy me some heat. I can go, hell, I don't got to go. You can get AKs and shit whenever you get ready. I be seeing motherfuckers with AKs and I always be like, well, what the fuck you got to, why you need a whole AK? You're not going to war or anything. In these cases, the AK would be logical. I got the heat. I got me a goddamn automatic rifle. I'm going to war. Okay? That's me. That's my heart. That's the heart I am trying to instill into my children. My daughter's not going to be like, well, he is a gangster. I heard he blew up somebody's car, so I can't leave. I'm not doing that, and I'm not raising that. I don't give a fuck what Biggie said, and shout out to Biggie. Niggas bleed just like us. Picture me being scared of a nigga that breathed the same air as me. Picture me being scared. Them bitches die when they get shot like everybody else. So I don't give a fuck about him blowing up Kid Cudi. That wouldn't be enough for my daughter to be like, well, Dad, he blew up. I'm coming strapped up. I got the heat. He still died, right? It still hurt when he bleed. When he gets shot, he hurt, right? So I don't give people superpowers. I really don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't. Motherfuckers can die. That's how I feel. As we sit here, we reactionary when we talk about, people hoping he get life in prison and all that shit. No, he'd have been had a couple shots. Been. That's how I think. But let me keep going. Let me see. Kiera says it's hard to leave a man like Puff. He had power. Cassie was nobody before she met Diddy. He made her an artist. She 19. Look to get in the industry. I get that. But again, this is what I'm talking about. I completely understand what you're saying. But at that moment, my sympathy for what she goes through goes out the window because she decided that being an artist was more important than self-respect. Once you make that decision, to me, I don't have any sympathy for you. Now, I'm not sitting here saying I wish she died or nothing like that, but my sympathy is gone. Because we put so much shit in front of self-respect and then act like we can't do nothing about it. Some of us do this about our jobs every day. I don't have sympathy at 41. Now, you catch me many years ago, maybe. Because I used to. Not no more. Because I understand. We say fuck self-respect, fuck self-preservation. If we feel like it'll get us ahead, we'll sell our goddamn souls. I don't agree with that. I don't give a fuck how hard it is. You make it happen. If you got to make it happen, you got to make it happen. I don't care nothing about hard. That's not my, that ain't my area. Here we go. Joyful Peace says about the same thing. She was 18 when he scooped her up, not mature enough to know what she was getting into. Artist. Okay, y'all keep making excuses for motherfuckers. Look, again, this is why I knew that me and people wasn't going to agree. I knew that. Because I have a different idea about power in my mind. And what power means. You're 18, but she ain't got no family. Like what? She ain't got no daddy. She ain't got nobody in the world. Like I don't. No. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I understand, but I don't agree. Because get the fuck out of here. Yeah, he most definitely did. Johnny Brown said he thought he could purchase privileges and white boy and a mama status. I don't know why black men think that. I really don't get that mentality. Because there hasn't been any proof of that. What you could do was if you're a black man with some money, you can hide a little better. You got legal teams and things like that can get you through here a little bit better. But once them people done with you, there's no protection for you at all. And as y'all see, he's losing all of his endorsements and everybody's he's losing all this money and shit like that over these, this video and everything. Everything that's been going on, Puff losing some endorsements. Now, I ain't saying he ain't got no money. I ain't gonna sit here and say he broke or whatever, but he's losing. But I don't know why black men think that. I don't even know what reference point they're using to prove it. Because for something to be true, it has to be something that's been proven to be true. And I don't know why they think that. I have no idea. None. At all. Jack says, Cass would walk away from the average brother if he breathed wrong. Facts. I imagine a forklift driver wouldn't be able to get away with all of that. But, and I guess for Cassie, now there are people, like I said, in regular life, it's men out here engaging in DV. It's men acting like that in regular life. But Cassie, as her, if you're talking about like a superstar or a star that way, I understand what you're saying. But as far as Cassie being women, no, there's some niggas out here that regular and sit around abusing women like this. It's ridiculous. Okay. I'm not going to say that, but Puff was blowing up cars and having people deleted. She was trapped. Okay. Again, look, this is where I knew me and y'all was not going to agree on this part. I knew that. There's not a scenario where you turn and you look at this woman and say, get the fuck out of there. I'm talking about the first instance. The first time, because a lot of times it starts off as verbal abuse. The first time that motherfucker call you out your goddamn name for no reason, you leave. What y'all do is say shit like she was trapped. Like day one, she was trapped. No, she wasn't. And I don't give a fuck how many times y'all say it in the comments. I'm not going to believe that because I know it don't work like that for real. No, she won't. No, she won't. She wasn't trapped day one. No. First time he called her a bitch. She won't trapped. First time he cussed her out and talked to her like a goddamn dog. She won't trapped. Please. That trapping becomes, at that point, when y'all say trap, it's because a person done built their cage. They spend that time in the relationship building a cage, bar by bar. They build it. The first time he called him a bitch, that bar gets right there. Next time he call you out your motherfucking name, disrespect you, your family, you build a cage for yourself, then you trapped. I would take that argument better than y'all just, she was trapped because she was 18. She was trapped because, no, I'm not doing that shit. She made a choice to put self-respect on the back burner. She did not start off trapped. She may have became trapped. Y'all could argue that. I would still disagree, but that's a better argument than automatically she was trapped. Come on now. I don't do that. I disagree with that. I disagree completely with that. No. Miss Johnson, we get you, Rob. You say she'll let no, people don't get that. That's not something that people get. That's why you're seeing the things that you're seeing. That's not something people get at all. People don't get that. People don't get that. Because what happens is when you're in situations like that, people will make, because women get to be strong, independent, and they get to be all these things, all these tropes, until it comes to these type situations. Now, I've known some women in my life. Now, let me pause for the cause real quick. I've known some women that got the fuck up out. First time the motherfucker said something crazy, they was out of there. They didn't wait for it to become physical. I've known women that the first time the motherfucker put their hands on them, they got the fuck up out of there. First time. Not second, third, not broken ribs, broken eyesight. First time. Out of there. First time. So let me give respect to those women because I agree with that. Just get the fuck up out of there, you know? Trey Day says, hey, Brother Rob, do you think black folk would blast Diddy if he did this to a black woman? Because I know had she been black, it would have been entirely different, and black men would have justified it. Well, that's interesting. Well, you're saying if she was a black, I guess a visually black woman, well, I still think black folk would have said what they had to say. Yeah. I think they would have said something. Most definitely. Now, would society treat it like that? The question is, would society have even dropped the footage? First, we got to go to the, cave media conglomerate. Would they have given a fuck enough to care? But I think black people seeing that footage is jarring. And of course, I think regardless of her being black, I'm not going to do black people. I can't do full blown. I can't go in on niggas like that. Because I do believe if the footage would have been shown, it was a black woman in that position, that people would have cared. I do believe. I still feel that way. Regardless. Now, the society, them no. But black people seeing some shit like that happen, there isn't, again, I'll give people credit enough. There isn't a case a lot of times where people are just going to be agreeing in mass with domestic violence, agreeing in mass with a man beating a woman's ass, especially you have the visual. And she's trying to run away. And like she was coming at him with a knife. That's different. You run up on me with a knife, I'm dropping you. Okay? She's trying to get away. I do feel like based on the fact that she was trying to get away, I think black people still would have had an issue with that. They still would have been on his head. Lin, don't tell the truth. Lin, do not tell the truth because I'm going to tell you what people are going to say about this. Lin, I'm going to read your comment. Cassie walked away from Ryan Leslie with no problems. What people are going to say is Ryan Leslie didn't have the power that Puff had. Because I agree with you. I'm with you. But people will sit here and say, well, he don't got the power. Ryan Leslie didn't have the resources. He couldn't do what Puff can do because Puff out here blowing cars up and getting people killed. So he do a little bit more. But I do agree with you. Kiera POV says we're going to agree to disagree on this one, Rob. This topic is way too complex to say one way or the other. Catch the next one. Not too complicated for me. Maybe too complicated for you, but it's not too complicated for me. And if me saying that a woman should leave as soon as a nigga hit her, if that's just, hey, again, if y'all got to go, go. Go ahead. It's not that complicated. We make it complicated, and that's why women end up being victimized. That's the problem. Y'all done made it too goddamn complicated. It's not. Get the fuck up out of there. Teach that to your daughters, too, while you're at it. Just in case, Please. Please. Y'all made it too hard. That's why women out here victimized to this very day. Fuck out of here. The Invader Blank Man says, Rob, on your channel that got deleted, you made a video about Puff and people was attacking you for talking about him. It was 2017. I know you remember. Absolutely. I said that earlier. You must have just got here. I talked about, I already done did away with these niggas. And when, I'm going to tell you what's so funny. When society cancels niggas that I already done canceled, so to speak, I'm like, y'all just catching up. Now, y'all may have different reasons because it's never for the reasons I say be hotepi. This is how niggas will treat me. Well, you canceling because they're a coon or you canceling because they're anti-black. So that's not enough for black people. That's not enough. they come out in situations like this, or assault, sexual assault, domestic violence, or they do some other shit, then people will be, well, I'm like you said, 2017. It's so-called 2024. That's 7 years ago. I already did this. But the reasons that I make aren't enough, even though people catch up with me later on down the line. Everybody I done talked about, well, I won't say everybody. A lot of people I've talked about in the past, and the reason that I don't fuck with them, and it's normally on some, they're anti-black, and let me tell you why. That's not enough for black people not to fuck with you. That's not enough for black people not to fuck with you. You could be anti-black as you want to be. You could be a full-blown coon. Black people still gonna fuck with you. Because we don't have a code or a culture built on black pride. But I've been said this shit. That's why when people just be slow to catching up, they slow to catch up to me. But mad love to you for remembering that. I've been on these celebrities' head for a long time. I've been on these celebrities' head for a long time. And motherfucker, when I like, you got Hotep, basically you were on some Hotep shit. Well, okay, well, wait for it to be, I guess, whatever y'all deem a cancelable offense. And now here y'all are. And I'm looking at you motherfuckers like, we don't feel the same way. Over all this shit, we already talked about this. He shouldn't have been, Wait, let me see what this said. Bye Samurai says, hypothetically, what if she said, that's why I gave you AIDS on her way out the door with Diddy being in the right? That's ridiculous. Oh my God. Yes. I mean, goddamn, if we're doing that. If she hypothetically said, well, I just killed one of your kids. I had one of my homies kill your baby. Yes, he'd be in the right. But that's ridiculous. That's not what the fuck is going on here. She's trying to get the fuck up out of there. And actually, what's interesting about that is Charlie Sheen. I don't know if y'all remember that white man. White man, we talked about him a long time ago too. Charlie Sheen actually did give a woman HIV. She sued him in court, right? He paid her $120, or not $120, $120,000, which might as well be $120. Might as well be $120. Exposed her to HIV. He gave her $120,000. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen didn't even get as much smoke as Puff. Interesting, right? Yes, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. That white man, Charlie Sheen, I mean, you can look it up. You don't got to believe me. I won't be on here lying, though. Yeah, I know that. Charlie Sheen, exposed woman, HIV, in Pussy Raw. No, his blood work wasn't right. She sued him, and she got $120,000 from him. So, right, you remember. B keeps it low key, said Tiger Blood. You remember that white man got away with, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with the case about the white man out in South Carolina that was running around. I think it was over 600-700 black girls and women that he was exposing them to HIV. He didn't get life or nothing like that. He got a light sentence for that. That was over 600 cases. If you look at the society, the way they deal with white men and the way they deal with black men are going to be different. And I can recognize that and still say fuck Puff. It's almost like the dichotomy is going to work where I can see both. That's how my mind works. And I don't give a fuck nobody like it. It just is what it is. I can see both things. Like I said, same thing with Cosby, all these motherfuckers. Like, I can see both things. The way society and the media is going to handle it is going to be different because they're black. Because they're black. Okay, my bad. I already read that comment. Yeah, we here. We here. But hypotheticals is like, that's crazy. Ian Charles says, a long time ago, Rob, first time I heard the term celebrity worshiping is on your channel. And that's when I stopped following him like that. Mad love to you for hearing the damn message. Because that shit is real. That shit is real. These people can't disappoint me. I don't expect nothing of them. They're not super. They don't have a super type of knowledge or intelligence. But that's how we treat them. That's how they get to these points where they get to be arrogant and they feel like they're above the law. And then particularly above black law. These motherfuckers try to skip over black because people worship them so much. And that's what happens every time. But mad love to you for hearing that. Because I used to talk about that celebrity worship shit. I mean, we was in there with that shit. But that's what led to Puff. That's led to that shit. And all of his camp. Now you got guys that, you know, you got motherfuckers out here that are not, or that are staying silent, if you so to speak, or, you know, the shit that Cam did the other day on CNN. People like Cameron piss me the fuck off. I don't fuck with Cameron at all, okay? Even as a rapper, I can't fuck with him no more because of what he did on J. Cole's Might Delete Later album. I can't even fuck with him as a rapper anymore because of that bullshit verse he put on there. But he came out, got on CNN, was very disrespectful to the black woman that was up there. And I hate the comfort level that it seems that we have to disrespect each other publicly, whether it's black men going black woman or black woman going black men. I do feel as though if there was a white woman sitting over there in that space, Cam wouldn't have handled the situation like that. I do feel it that way. And vice versa. If it's a, white man on the other side, a lot of these situations that you see, these motherfuckers don't act like that. They have more decorum with the caves. But Cam getting on there, and then he turn around and try to justify it. Like, well, they wanted me to get on there and be with the bullshit, so I just... No. What you did was make hood niggas look dumb. That's what you did. That's what you did. You made all hood niggas look dumb. And we not. We are not. So all you did was reinforce the stereotype as it was. You did not have to take your dumb ass up there at all if you knew you didn't want to talk about Puff. Or you could have been like, look, in my opinion, domestic violence is wrong. This is time for men to take a stance, a uniform stance. Domestic violence is wrong. Period. That's it. You don't even have to give your opinion about Puff, so to speak. But you can most definitely say that's some bullshit. The same way somebody like Cam would say somebody wearing a skirt, a man wearing a skirt, they'll say that's some bullshit. Well, we should have that same type of stance against domestic violence. You should have the same type of stance against domestic violence both ways. Everybody need to keep their motherfucking hands to themselves. And men that run around here knowing that the power that men have over women, when we talk about physical strength, everybody should be against that. Every day. Not just when it's highlighted and Cassie going through it. That's a stance that you could take, period. It is what it is. Let me see what you got, Marshawn. Let me see. Diddy has more appreciation and protection than Malcolm X. What do you do with that? Diddy has more appreciation. Well, let me just say this. Our people, okay? Our people respect celebrity more than we've ever respected revolutionaries. That's first of all, okay? So that's a sad fact. It just is what it is, all right? I've talked about that. I've mentioned that. We have those type of conversations here on this channel sometimes, right? Celebrity and wealth and whatever that may be or look like to the person, we respect that more than we've ever given a fuck about any form of revolutionary, whether it be Malcolm X or a number of revolutionaries that you can name. We've always respected celebrities more. We look to them to be some type of leader in the space. Now, I do believe that celebrities should be participants. Leaders, maybe not so much, but participants, I do believe that they actually should be. And if they're not, then they need to be called out for not being. That's what I believe. But of course, you can put anybody's name right there outside of Puff. We respect celebrity more. And we act like we know these people, which is mind-blowing to me. We act like we know these people. Like I know his personality. I know her personality. Or a motherfucker might be like, well, that person is the type of person that, like they know them. We feel more connected to them because cameras are always in their face, to be fair. Cameras are always in their face, and they know, society knows, whatever they put cameras on, that's what you niggas gonna stare at. They know that. Paparazzi, all this stuff. Whatever they put cameras on, that's what you're gonna stare at. This is why they can make coming from a reality TV series, a person can get famous off reality TV. All they gotta do is have cameras on them every day, all day. People get famous from so-called reality TV. All right, this is how we led to what Cardi B came from. You can get famous just off that. If people see you enough, repeatedly like that, they know that that's how our minds are programmed, and we don't treat black power like that at all. Even in our so-called would-be, which again, I don't think we have one, but a culture, we treat celebrities. This is why you'll have that argument that rappers have more of an influence than even parents. We say shit like this and we accept it. This is where you get that conversation from. Rappers have even more influence than parents do. And people will make the argument that rappers need to set better examples because they got more sway over your kids than you do. We respect and give leadership to celebrities. We never do that for our black revolutionaries throughout history. That's not how we are. That's not how we are. That's not how we are. The Invader Blank Man said, that's my thing. I remember you've been talking about this for over a decade, and the backlash you got, the same people now agreeing with you with what you said. Now that's some sick backwards fake shit. It's just because when I call people out, it's about anti-black shit. People gotta wait for people to either be raped, abused, or the DV in the situation. They waiting for all that shit. I don't need all that to not fuck with somebody. I don't need all that. But I have been talking about this. Mad love to you for remembering that. A lot of people don't give me my goddamn credit. Them motherfuckers don't want to give me my motherfucking credit. I ain't asking for praise, but I expect credit. I'm just going to say that full blown. I'm not asking for praise, but I do expect credit because I've been doing this shit, plain clothes, regular nigga, doing this shit for years. Been telling y'all about these celebrities for years, and that's just, as soon as I see a motherfucker anti-black, their character isn't even strong enough to not be into any other fucked up shit. To me, you with all types of shit. If you anti-black, you with all types of fuckery. You with all types of fuckery. But I've been here trying to tell people, ain't nobody fucking listening. Ain't nobody fucking listening. Righteous Indignation said, I just finished watching Quiet on the Set, and these people in the industry be going through it. I watched that as well. I watched it probably maybe 3 weeks ago. Maybe a little bit. When it first really came out, probably within that first week, I watched that shit. Let me say this. What people are willing to sacrifice, even parents with children, what they're willing to sacrifice for the limelight, the trust that they have in these managers and executives and producers, it doesn't compute in my mind. I don't get it. So I'm sitting here watching Quiet on the Set, and I'm seeing, okay, all this stuff's been exposed, and I'm recognizing that all these kids have parents. But if I turn to look at the parents, this is wrong. This is considered wrong to us. Now, if you don't look at the person, these people who basically prostitute their own kids out for fame, because they can say they're doing it for the kids, but they're really doing it for themselves so they can get that income from that child as well. The parents who do this, you can't even say nothing about them. Because here come the excuses. Oh, that person was super slick. There was no signs. They was so smooth. Like, you start getting excuses, just like the same thing you're going to see with this shit. Well, Puffy blowing up cars so she couldn't go nowhere. They'll start making all types of, it's the same shit. Well, they was so slick. No, they won't. They were trying to get themselves in an isolated situation with your child. That's not slick. That's not tricky. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, like, I don't see how that was. But what happens, the parents get exonerated. They didn't know nothing. I couldn't see it. I didn't know what was going on. They get to do that. And then the producers and executives and shit like that, of course you're going to look at them. Something's wrong with these motherfuckers. It is. But the sacrifice that these kids make are the same very sacrifices that the adults make. When I see somebody in the industry that kept their integrity intact, what I notice is a lot of times they don't blow up. They don't become as big. I noticed that. They don't get to the highest levels of fame. I noticed that. So just like Brother Malcolm said, be weary of the people who getting awards and accolades from the society. Be weary. And I took that to heart. I took that to heart. Your enemy's not going to reward you unless y'all friends. That's how it works. I took that to heart. Now, people, they act like they fuck with Malcolm like that, but this was very, very prophetic here. Anybody getting an award from them people must be with them people. They don't reward people that's not with them people. This is why you have a Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Malcolm X. We had to force that on ourselves, and mad love and respect to everybody that shows some respect to Malcolm X on May 19th, his birthday, in celebration of his arrival day when he showed up, not celebrating his death, but celebrating his arrival. So mad love to everybody that did that. But this is just facts. You cannot talk about these parents, how they set their kids up. This is what I wanted to have that conversation about with R. Kelly. I wanted to have that conversation. You can't have that conversation. Because I can say R. Kelly is a fucked up ass, weirdo ass, deserves to be in prison ass nigga, but these parents are soliciting their children basically on some prostitution shit. And you can't say that though. Oh, you agree with R. Kelly? You just trying to... You can't even... This is why these conversations are difficult. Even with Bill Cosby in situation. I don't understand these parties. These eyes wide shut parties. I don't know why people go. I don't get them. I don't understand it. Okay? I don't get the need to be, to even be around that type of scene. If you're famous, why do you have to go to that type of party? To mix and mingle, create some connections. Go ahead and let them know you willing to sacrifice your motherfucking soul. At least you can have that eye contact like, yeah, okay, you got my soul. What you need me to do? I don't get those parties and shit like that. Don't know why people showing up to shit like that. But they do it. It doesn't matter what I think, right? Because we're going to have all types of excuses why people got to go to those parties. Got to go network, Rob. Like, how you expect them to make it in the industry if they don't network, Rob? Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It just is what it is. Let's see. Gina Turner says, then a lot of celebrities speaking out against Puff, because I'm telling y'all, I refuse to call this man Diddy. I don't like that. Then a lot of black celebrities speaking out against Puff, but the same celebrities are afraid to speak against caves like Alec Baldwin or Weinstein. Absolutely. Well, you know that. When it comes to black people, it is much easier. It's a lot less backlash for us to be against one of our own. And then again, black men are now being ushered into being the face of all degenerate, and I won't say not beginning to be, but this is kind of the norm for the society. We are the face of all degenerate behavior. Whether it's abuse, whether it's rape, whether it's murder, no matter what the degenerate behavior is, black men are going to become the face of that. Okay? And society agrees with that. So these black celebrities that are speaking against Puff understand that this is a position they can have that society will agree with. Them talking about Alec Baldwin or a Harvey Weinstein may not get them as much love society-wise or in the industry, Hollywood-wise, as it will you going against a black person. You're going to get more love for that. Always. Always. Tiana's Thought says, Aaliyah, Usher, Justin Bieber. Exactly. Usher lived with Puff when he was 13. Justin Bieber and so many more were sold by their parents When are people going to hold the parents accountable? I will tell you right now on May 21st, 2024, never. And I'll tell you why. Here's why you'll never see parents be held accountable. Because you got to look at the conversation that parents even have around this type of shit. Parents are able to blame pretty much everything in the world for how their kids turn out. Right now, you're seeing it happen in school systems. Teachers are being blamed for these kids that are unruly and reckless all up at the schools. Teachers are being blamed for that, not parents, right? That's how it works. You have rappers being blamed for children's behavior, not the parents who are with them all day long. When you see anything behavior that children are having, it turns into a conversation about celebrities. It turns into a conversation about teachers. It turns into a conversation about societal influences. Nothing to do with the parents. You have the same conversation happening with these phones. They even say it's the phones doing it. And let me ask everybody a question about this. How many kids you know work to pay their phone bill? Show of hands. What child do you know got a job and working to pay their own phone bills? But now it's the phones. Now, again, I think there needs to be another conversation had here because I don't think it's kids and phones. I need these grown people with these phones are influencing the kids to be this dumb because they see you being dumb. They're going to they're following suit. But how many kids y'all know pay their own phone bills? So then if you're a parent and you blame the phone, who bought the phone? Who paying the bill? Nobody wants to have that conversation. You can't talk about parents in no type of way. None. And I think it's so sad because it's making the conversation to where it's not really a solution-based conversation. It's more of a merry-go-round conversation. The solution of the entire conversation is these parents. Now, of course, you can't control how people raise their kids. But I do think more attention needs to be put on how those children are being raised, in particular when we're talking about children that are pursuing fame, what that means. Because Aaliyah was most definitely pimped out by her parents. Usher pimped out too. Justin Bieber pimped out. That whole Quiet on the Set, all of them pimped out. But you can't talk about the parents. And that's why the conversation is so circular. That's why it continues to happen, because we refuse to talk about the parents. We refuse to. You'll have people out here that will talk more so about the protection of, black women in particular, not downplaying that. But when it comes to protection of children, not happening. That's not even a conversation that you can have. Because if I have a conversation about how Aaliyah's parents pimped her out, that means I agree with what R. Kelly did. That's how stupid we are. If I have a conversation about how in my personal opinion, in my mind, there's no way Cassie should have been around letting her ass get beat for all them years by putting her self-respect to the back burner, that means I agree with what Puff did. You can't have these conversations where you can see a couple things happening at one time, because then it means you agree with the behavior. And I think that's crazy. I think that's absolutely insane. Exactly. A bar. Say it's the humans. People love blaming inanimate objects that don't even move without someone picking them up. Facts. Those are facts. Like, how are y'all's children? Because they be there with guardian. I mean, especially with that Quiet on the Set shit. Like, the parents were there. These kids don't even drive. The parents are driving them there. Dropping them off. Who the fuck? Come on, yo. 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 Bye Samurai said that's why Kendrick Lamar Meet the Graham song was so powerful. He spoke to Drake's parents. I disagree with the song was being powerful. I think that's a little stretch. You might be a fan of Kendrick, and I understand that, but power, I don't know about that. Because he a grown man now. You talk to parents when these kids is young. Like Drake grown. Drake is a grown ass man. But I do understand what you're saying. Like, parents should be spoken to, absolutely. They should be spoken to. London Link says all the grown-ups that were around during that period not speaking up. There are some people that are speaking up, or they still making. If you, especially if you're talking about these kids, or you talking about the quiet on the set, some of them are saying stuff, but to me, it's not enough. To me, it's not enough. To me, it's not enough. Kendra W says right, and she was actually with a good guy, Ryan Leslie. I think she saw money, but was super young. I think she saw the money, but she was super young. Absolutely. I'm sure that pussy went to the highest bidder. We can't talk about that either, because then, again, when the minds of people stop you from having honest conversations, that's why this accountability talk, I chuck it up. I don't pay people no attention when I'm talking about accountability. I think it's a dumb conversation. I think it needs to stop. It's stupid. But you can't talk about that. You can't say, well, clearly she went with the highest bidder. That's what she did. Self-respect to the back. Money over everything. That's the motto with them people over there. That's the motto for that entire class of people over there. But we cannot have that conversation. You can't. Because then it's wrong. Then it's wrong. Lily of the Nile says we all pimp ourselves out to a certain degree. You're absolutely right. I won't disagree with that. I won't disagree with that at all. But to me, there's still standards in everything. And integrity in everything. I believe in that. I believe we have integrity. Everybody got different levels of integrity. Everybody has different levels of patience. Everybody got different levels of things that they're willing to take. My level's way less than a lot of people that I know. A lot of people that I talk to. A lot of people that bring me their problems. And I'm trying to understand, why is this a problem? Just don't leave, or not don't leave, but leave that situation, whether it's job, whether it's a certain school system, no matter what it is, just get the fuck up out of there. That's, but some people have more patience to just sit there and tough through it, I guess. But what I'm saying is, once somebody tells me something, gives me a problem, and the solution is clearly to leave, but you stay, then I'm not going to listen to you complain. My sympathy leaves. That's all I'm saying. And I know that may be hard to understand for a lot of people, because it's my own thoughts. This is my own. I didn't get this from nowhere. This is what my understanding about life is. Once you sit there and you stay, listen to you complain, I'm not going to do. People do that a lot in relationships. No, I'm not going to do that. He cheating? Okay, you can't take it? Leave. No, you're not leaving? But you're going to keep complaining about him cheating? Okay, stay. She got a bad attitude? Are you leaving? No? Okay, you staying? Why not listen to you continue to complain about her fucking attitude? I'm not going to listen to none of that shit. I'm done. We can talk about it, but I'm not going to listen to you complain. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing none of that. CJC Love 18 says none of that matters, though. She was beaten, point blank, period. Nobody's denying that she was beaten. The only way this would be a relevant statement is if somebody was saying that she wasn't beaten. This is what I'm talking about. This is why it's difficult to have conversations. Because the only way this would be a relevant comment is if somebody was saying that Puff never did anything to her. That's the only way. And then I would completely agree that I'm in here talking about some bullshit and she was beaten, point, but no one's denying that she was beaten. Somebody's getting their ass whooped right now. Do you care? No. I bet you don't. Because regular domestic violence victims, don't nobody care. It's a famous person, so people gonna act like they care. It's somebody getting their ass whooped right now, probably. Hold on, I can bet. I'll bet money on that. Somebody getting their ass whooped right now in this world. Right now. And right now. This conversation about domestic violence will disappear in about 2 weeks. I'll give it 2 weeks. Once I get through running Puff all the way down through there and make sure that he is, disenfranchised in a way, that'll be it. No more talk about domestic violence whatsoever. I even saw that some women were saying that they were triggered by even seeing the video itself. It triggered their own experiences that they've had, situations that they may have left from or escaped from, but it was triggering for them, and I can imagine that it was. I can imagine that it was. Shawnee said, Cameron, really? They couldn't find anyone else? Rob, don't get upset with Mally dysfunctional Cam to present himself with pride. I'm not upset at him. I don't get upset no more. Like I'm 41 now. I don't know whether y'all knew that. You know, I'm 41 now. I'm 41 years old. I'm less upset with how, because I know, like somebody else said twice, I've been talking about this shit for years. You see what I'm saying? So I don't get as upset now. Okay, I'm more calm. I understand that everybody has their own thoughts, everybody has their own opinions, and you know, a lot of stuff I'm going to say, in particular when it comes to how I am, you know, B123, like black first, second, and third, people not going to agree with that type of. So I'm not mad. I don't get mad at people, but I do understand what makes these conversations difficult to have. I just understand it. Realist one says, because they'll take that as you siding with Diddy, which is simple minded. In my opinion, that shit is more layered than people want to admit. Exactly. I knew what this was going to be. I knew when I was posting about it, people were going to be saying I'm siding with or I'm agreeing with. Even though, let me tell you what's so funny about that. I don't sit around beating women. Okay? That's never been something I'm into. That's never been something. Now, I've defended myself against some women that were trying to accost me. Now, I've done that, but it's never been, I ain't punched nobody or nothing like that. But I will grip a motherfucker up. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all. That's not, to me, you can't even have a positive, an honest conversation. If you gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I done grip some motherfuckers up. But that's been because they're trying to accost me. Because they get like this sometimes. I mean, there are men that are victims of DV, but it's such a smaller number. Like, it ain't really, it ain't like that. But, to me, you should be able to have a conversation where you can say that, yes, that was some bullshit he was on. But also, okay, what are you doing there? Why are you there? You know that behavior. That was not his first time doing that. Now, had that been his first time doing that and she left after that, that's a different conversation. You can't control somebody's first, but you can control their second. You can control their thirds. You can control their fourth, and so on and so forth. You can't control their first. But that wasn't his first. And after that, I lose sympathy. I lose sympathy. And I don't really give a fuck. If somebody was to say I'm siding with Puff or whatever, I don't give a fuck at all. I wouldn't even care about that at this point because I know me. I know what I'm saying. I understand what I'm saying. And I understand how the society is treating him as to how they would treat a white man in the same situation. Same situation. Same abusive. It'd be crazy ass white men out here going crazy on their women. Now, y'all remember Mel Gibson when he went crazy some years ago. He even said that he wished his wife got raped by a pack of niggers. Like, he even said that. Mel Gibson wilded out on the phone, did he? Wild out on the phone. I hope you get raped by a pack of niggers. That's how you act. Exactly, Dre Day. Goes back to your Illuminati videos. When I tell you that people's souls are for sale, it's real. That's not something I'm just saying to be funny. That's not something I'm saying to be edgy. Not something I'm just saying out of nowhere. People's souls are for sale. Especially when we're talking about money and fame involved. People's souls are for sale. They just are. And that's the people that we're dealing with. These are the people that understand selling of the souls. Or they'll act like this is a talent-based industry. Like, that's so funny. Let's talk. Okay, I'm going to do sidebar real quick. The people that act like this is a talent-based industry, talent-based Hollywood, that's not what it is. Okay? In a world where I do believe if we weren't patterning, mimicking everything white people do, want to go in every space that they're in. So they create the white Hollywood space. We're trying to inject ourselves into that. And thus, we're going to do the things that they do for they can put us in certain positions, whether our souls are for sale, or, no matter what it requires for us to be in those spaces, rather. We'll do that. To create a black Hollywood space Now, notice I took out the weird. It can be built on righteous shit. You ain't gotta do this shit. I disagree with that. I know that's, again, it goes back to, like a lot of people are saying at all times, nobody has a choice. It's out of everybody's power. Just like every woman in every single domestic violence situation, they have no choice. For us, it's everybody always telling us that we don't have no choice but to sell our souls. How do we accept that? How do we take that? We understand that the industry, this is it's not talent based. Now, talent is a piece of it. I'm not saying it's not a piece of it, but this is not a talent based industry. This is why a lot of times when you see something happen, you be like, what happened to that motherfucker? They was talented as fuck. They didn't wanna. They said no. And they'll have to be pushed to the back burner. Now, what social media has done, and this is one of the benefits of social media, as to me, it's a lot of flaws with social media, but what social media has done is that people now can put out their own content. You can sing, goddamn, I can pull this mic in right now, hit some notes. I can do it right now. Okay? Gain a big enough following, make my own album, own the rights to my own music. Bitch ass Puffy was sitting around holding on to these people's masters and was basically robbing black people blind. This is why I didn't fuck with him off of that alone. But now you can own your own masters. You don't have to necessarily sell your soul, but to get to that next level, because I don't know why this level ain't it for people. They want to go all the way up. To get to that top level, to get up there where, Beyonce or some of these people are, there's some shit you got to do. I believe, I don't give a fuck with nobody. So you can call me conspiracy theorist. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You can call it Illuminati, whatever you call it. You got to do something. You got to. And it's going to be selling your motherfucking soul. Now, one could argue that, some people don't have a soul to sell. Okay. But they're going to have to do some shit. Every time. Every time. And as we sit around and chalk all this up as conspiracy, I don't think it is, because you'll see people that are talented as fuck. You wonder what happened to them, and they'll tell you. You've seen people say it. I'm not going to the party. I'm not letting 3 or 4 niggas, as far as with the female, well, I can't even say with females. I'm going to say males and females. I'm not letting niggas run train on me. No. I'm not going to let no K's, when I say niggas, I don't want y'all to think I'm talking about black people. I'm not letting these K's run train on me. No, you don't get to touch my dick. No, you don't get to suck my dick with your old cave ass. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. I'm not doing that. Remember this happened with Terry Crews. Remember what Terry Crews, with his coon ass, what he did? He said that basically he had no choice. So he let a white man grope him in front of his wife. He don't have no choice. I'm telling y'all, I don't like the I don't have a choice narrative. I don't like that. Because you did. But what you did was you put the pursuit of money ahead of everything. You had a choice. You didn't want to be blackballed, so you didn't say nothing. All right? That's why when people be so mad about what Monique be talking about and how she's been blackballed and they be telling her to shut up and all this old shit. No, I wish more of them would speak out. Because shut up means you block. What they'll say is you blocking your blessings. When you speak truth about what goes on behind these closed doors, that is you blocking your blessings. Do you hear these niggas? They sit around and say this type of shit. That's why you blackball. You won't shut up. So basically the rule is if you tell the truth, you get blackballed, and that's okay with everybody. Nobody has a problem. They need to shut up. Take what's coming or take whatever they get because they got blackballed because they're out here telling the truth. And I've seen that on not just Monique. I just thought her name just jumped in my head, but not just Monique. People will say that shit. You out here exposing. Look what happens to whistleblowers. Once you start exposing the truth about shit, because it's only you. Because normally there is a martyr's path. Because society wants to, they'd be telling you, no, you need to shut the fuck up. You want to get this role? That's why you're not successful. You won't shut up. We'll say that to people. We'll say that to people. Fuck your talent level. You in there telling the truth, you need to shut up. Y'all don't laugh. It's real. Gina, don't tell this truth. Uh-oh. Hold on, Gina. Hold on. I'm going to deal with that. Gina, hold on. Because what you're doing is what they call too much. Now you're doing too much, Gina. This is one of them truths. This is one of them truths that nobody wants to deal with in real life. Gina Turner says, and they identify as Christian. They talk about God. Now, I'm going up real quick. They talking about God and all this shit, all right? Praying and all this shit. Church folks are the biggest cowards. Now, what you understand here is if according to their Bible, the truth is the light, okay? But telling the truth blocks their money, okay? What profit is a man to, gain the whole world and lose his soul? That's in their Bible. Now, I don't believe that shit. Okay? In that context, I don't believe it. I think it's a good message. I'm not gonna act like the Bible don't got some bars. Okay? Or like the young folks say, the Bible got some bops. Okay? Got some in there. What profit is a man to gain the whole world, lose his motherfucking soul? You're supposed to be telling the truth. You're supposed to be speaking truth to power. That's what your God told you to do. But when it comes to money, no. 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 When it comes to money, as this industry is concerned, what I noticed is that the most religious people in the world, arguably the most religious people in the world, will put all that shit to the side and do whatever they gotta do to pursue that money. Money over everything. That is the rule of capitalism. That's what's wrong with the entire world. Not just Hollywood, the entire fucking world. So don't get that confused, because I talk about capitalism and outside of Hollywood. It's not just Hollywood. But in that space, everybody's soul is for sale. And everybody's willing to go through all types of shit. All types of gay shit, all types of embarrassment. What they call them rituals. Damn, humiliation ritual. They willing to do whatever it takes. I disagree. I fucking disagree. Completely. We talked about that. Trey Day says, why haven't we given the same energy to that white boy who infected 700 black girls with AIDS? Remember that white DJ Pope? You made a video back in 2019. I remember that vividly. We talked about him earlier. They're actually giving him a sentence now. Light sentence. Light. They wouldn't even give him life. I think what he got, 25, 30 years, something like that. He probably won't serve it all with so-called good behavior. Yeah. A little different. And if you notice, it's not being covered in the mainstream news. Puff is. He got his sentence. God, I'll be lying. But it's been recently. I ain't want to say him full. It hasn't been that long ago where he actually got his sentence. But that wasn't in the news. That wasn't in any headlines or anything like that. An 8-year-old video of what Puff did to Cassie is what the conversation is about. Not be weary of these caves that are sitting around victimizing young black girls, infecting young black girls with diseases purposely. They're not telling you to keep your head on a swivel for that, because they want our women to keep going on these dating apps, fucking with these caves, trusting them, and ending up murder some goddamn where. They're not going to say beware of the white man. That goes against society's, and I mean, to be fair, I mean, it's them. They're not going to say beware of the white man. It's only beware of the niggas. Only beware of me. Beware of you. This society will never concede to that. Beware of the white man. They'll never do it. And a man like DJ Pope, DJ Cave, will sit there and be able to get a light, to me, what is a light sentence. And I saw a story, I saw what was it? It was somebody got away with killing, I'm trying to think of. It was a Black Lives Matter supporter, or I guess marcher. He was murdered by some white man, but that white man got off. No charges. Okay. My bad. Rebel R says DJ Kid got 19 years, not 30. My fault. 19 years, not 30. See? Absolutely. Jack, exactly. Anti-blackness is the law of the land. We haven't realized that yet. Or we wouldn't be sitting around calling people hoteps for not trusting the government. It's ridiculous. But I didn't mean to turn up, but you're right. Anti-blackness is the law of the land, so it's never about pointing out white crimes. Absolutely. We don't. The only way you realize that is if you got to be considered a hotep, or niggas are trying to play you. And it's like, the fuck? Why come you can't just see this shit out here? Deshaun Williams says, "Hey Rob, you should check out Quiet on the Set, where these young kids and Nickelodeons got taken advantage of. They even ruined the livelihood of one black boy. Protect the children." Well, Deshaun, you might have just got here. We just got through talking about Quiet on the Set. They didn't ruin the livelihood of that one black boy, because I'm going to give you some pushback on that. His black mama did. Yes. They didn't ruin his livelihood. His black mama did. Because I sat there and watched him interview her. She knew some shit wasn't right, and she sat there and she took that shit. You get your son the fuck up out of there. We out. Ain't no money worth this. Ain't no money worth you having an inferiority complex, being around all these goddamn caves. Any black person, any black child that's on Nickelodeon has an inferiority complex because of the racism that goes on within Nickelodeon. There ain't no big special on that. So it's going to be looking like more some hoteppy shit I'm saying. Okay? They'll concede to the pedophilia type of shit, or those claims. They'll concede to those now. But the racism, they're not going to do a whole documentary on that. But let me just tell you. I watched that documentary, and it could have been a spin-off documentary of the racism that black children go through dealing with Nickelodeon, any of these really mainly white establishment when they go into, and they're the white child or the black child in those spaces. The same ideas that we send our kids up to cave schools and thinking that everything gonna be okay. That your kid will not have an inferiority complex or be sad as fuck because they're gonna be getting called niggers all day by these other little cave kids. They're going to be treated different by those cave teachers. We can't talk about that. So they didn't ruin the livelihood of that one black boy. His mama did. And that's the truth we're going to have to start telling. And stop running from the facts. We got to stop running from the facts and making everybody else just got all this power to ruin our kids. No, that's us. We allow that type of shit to happen. We allow it because you can say no. And I'm tired of this. Again, and people disagree with me, and people gonna disagree with me about this, and I don't give a fuck. But acting like you don't have the power to say no, I disagree with that. We're not willing to sacrifice what no would mean. That's the truth of the matter. And especially in the face of money, we're not willing to sacrifice what no would mean. We go along. I'm willing to sacrifice for everything I say, every word that comes out of my mouth. I'm sacrificing my livelihood every day. Or I ain't gonna say every day. I'll say every time we get on here, I'm sacrificing. I'm out here like normal people. I make that sacrifice. Every time I open my motherfucking mouth, I'm gonna tell the truth. You think I'm about to stand there, whether it be a job or somebody offer me some money and want me to be on some coon shit or want me to sacrifice my motherfucking integrity, sacrifice my sexuality to make some money? No. Matter of fact, fuck no. Fuck no. And if you try to convince me otherwise, I can imagine me saying no, and the motherfucker be like, well, let me just put it in real quick. I'm gonna punch him. I'm stealing on him. I got a case. I got an assault case now because I stole off. Because I don't want to hear the double down try to convince me of any type of shit I'm gonna be on where my kid is concerned or where I'm concerned, where my kid is in a space where they're dealing with racism or any type of sexuality whatsoever. I say no. And if you try to convince me, I'm hitting your ass in the motherfucking face. Point blank, period. That's how I am. That's how I am. But we not strong like that. We not strong like that. Modern FBA says public school is detrimental to young black children. This is where we're gonna disagree a little bit. Detrimental. The parenting is what's detrimental. The school is a process. That's just a system. You can send your kid in there with this, or you can just send them in there. And that's what we do. We just send them in there. And because we just send them in there, that's what makes those spaces detrimental for our children. That's what happens. We just send them in there with no, again, this culture that we got isn't built on black pride, and thus our kids are just running around. They're just walking around out here, all up at the school. No, I think the parenting is paramount. Paramount. Your kids will be okay in public school system if you reinforce. If we did our job, it would be okay, but we don't do our job. We don't do our job. Paris says, but can we talk about that? How do we prep our babies for being around caves? Mine is 5 years old. Well, see, the problem with in kindergarten, it's a little bit different. That's going to require you being more active at the schools. What I noticed, and what some of you may have noticed, is when teachers and the school system feel as though a child is on their own, their parent is not as involved in that child's schooling, those are the kids they're going to run off on more often than not. So right now, your job is to be present. Your job is to let that teacher know, because now it's you. You fuck around here, you're going to have to deal with me. Because the kids ain't really even old enough at that age. I had to make myself known to these goddamn teachers. Not disrespectfully, but I'm not just sending my kid up here for you to watch him or babysit him or be the nursery while I'm at work. That's not the energy we send our kids. No, I'm a present parent. I'm paying attention. What they rely on is the fact that we're working so much that we can't pay attention to our kids, because so many of us say that type of shit. I work so much. I can't do this. I can't do that. We can't do anything. But you let them know you're not one of them ones. So it's not necessarily you prepping your babies. You let the school know who the fuck you are. Because what I'm telling you, what they try to do is they'll try to divide and conquer these kids. They know who ain't coming up to maybe the PTA meeting or having the conversations about the grades or how your kid is learning. And, a lot of parents go up there, black parents go up there with that smiling shit. That he shit. Like, well, shit, I recognize that my child is one of the few black children in here. Do you recognize that, teacher? I need for you to recognize it too. And I don't want them, you on this I don't see race shit. I got one of the few black kids in here. That means there's a good chance that when the kids even start jonesing on each other, these other non-black children may end up saying some racist shit to my child. If that is to happen, I'm going to hold you accountable for that. You make your presence felt. That's how you do that. Because you can't really prepare no 5-year-old. They got to make sure they see that you ready for whatever smoke they're going to come with. And it may not even be that. I ain't had to deal with no heavy shit like that, but you got to make your presence known. That's what my advice would be. But black folk, we ain't doing that. I ain't saying you won't, but that's not, we're not doing that. People think that's crazy. People think that's crazy. Deshaun Williams says, I feel what you're saying, Rob, but I don't think that young man had a father figure in his life. It's easier to manipulate a single mother who's probably struggling financially. Brother, I feel you. I feel you. But both parents have to be ready when we're talking about, we can't do that. Because that's like saying, well, if the kid would have had a father in his life, that wouldn't have happened. That's a lie. That's a lie. I'm sorry, but it is. If you said you watched that documentary, you said you watched Quiet on the Set. So just because a father's around, that doesn't mean anything. You know that. So that I don't think this is one of them things where you can, I'm not saying that single mothers aren't, anybody that needs money is easier to manipulate. I get that. I understand that. Full blown. But if a father would have been around, it does not mean that would have avoided the situation. And if you study and look across the board with these children and these celebrity children, they be having dads. That don't stop nothing. That don't stop a goddamn thing. That don't stop a goddamn thing. At all. We like to act like the presence of a father changes things, but we have to be sure that we're talking about what type of father. The presence of a father, and again, I always understand that, but that father has to have the right. Do you know how many hoe ass niggas exist out here with no pride whatsoever who put money over everything? Like, that's not an automatic thing that happens because a father is around. That is wrong, and I don't like the fact normally that's the solution. Men be like, well, the father just need to be there, and I get that in certain situations, but without the mindset, the father is just there. They're just there. And we got to be real about that. In an effort to get black parents, both black parents, to look into ourselves, to tap into that black pride. We can't keep saying, well, it's just the moms that need to do this work. If they was on point, or if a dad is around, any type of dad, he gonna stop something. That's not true. That's really not true. And we gotta stop saying that. We gotta stop saying that shit. It does make, it is, I guess, a more maintained household if a father is there helping financially. But who's to say that she wasn't getting help financially? You make a lot of assumptions to blame her. Y'all don't know what that black man was sending to this black woman, that she's struggling financially. You don't know that. Because one thing about us is you don't have to be struggling financially to be money hungry. People be okay, but they want a Gucci belt. People be okay, but they want the most expensive car. People be okay, but they want to buy and be and look like they're rich. That is not, we got to be real about this shit. We got to be real about this shit. There's a lot of people who struggling financially is subjective. They want to do too much. They don't want to live a regular life. They want everything. They want all of it. And, when you got that type of mentality, you're willing to put everything on the line to reach that point. It just is what it is, yo. It is what it is. And I got that. I understand that, Android. Somebody to help pay the bills. I get that. But we making assumptions that woman there was nowhere. I watched the whole documentary. That woman ain't said nothing about her kid daddy not helping her pay for shit. She said she wanted her kid to be famous for him. At least that's what she claimed. That's what she said. Oh my God. Jack says the racists use the shortage of black fathers as an excuse for everything wrong with black people. Exactly. And I'm going to tell you what's so funny about that. We do it too. If we didn't do it, if we would counter the propaganda, they wouldn't be able to do it as effectively. I'll say that. But when you start talking to the caves, and when you talk to these motherfuckers and they tell you they didn't have no daddy, he was alcoholic, he was beating their mama ass, he wasn't around, or I never even met the motherfucker. Like, if you ever listen to these motherfucking caves, they saying the same shit. They be saying the same shit. They ain't had no daddy. They don't fuck with their daddy. He was this, he was that, he was this, he was that, he wasn't around. It's the same stuff. I be telling people, go to the trailer park. Go see about that trailer park real quick. It will tell you exactly what the fuck going on. Modern FBA says we used to counter propaganda effectively. I don't remember the time. I don't remember that. Historically speaking, I don't remember that. As far as that the propaganda is concerned. Because I feel like if we'd have been able to fight propaganda, our revolutionaries would be heroes in our community. If that makes sense. I don't think we've ever fought propaganda effectively, not once. Not one time have we been effective. I feel like we made some efforts and we gave up. That's how I feel. Our revolutionaries should be heroes in our community. This government should not one black person trust the government. A lot of them do. To be fair to black people, a lot of them will be anti-cop for you, with you. But when you start getting into these letter agencies, the FBI, CIA, all this stuff, I'm telling you, man, like, that's better. Now that's better. Modern FBA said, well, we made better attempts. Absolutely. I do believe that. But we stopped. My thing is, that shouldn't be something that faded away. Especially considering when people like Puff would come up here and act like Revolt TV was supposed to be some black power shit. I remember, and some of you may be familiar with that, if you watch, old clips of the conversation that black people were having when they would have like a James Baldwin talking to Nikki Giovanni, or, we used to have that type of shit going on. And I've seen the clips, I would see the would-be black media that would have, revolutionaries on there, or people that would have those mindsets, even to have debates and things like that. I would see that type of shit was going on. But what happened? Now we devolved into niggas arguing about whether or not it is the ancient Egyptian mindset you need to have, or whether you need to be a Moor, or whether or not you need to be a so-called Aborigine. Like we don't do our motherfucking jobs. We don't do our motherfucking jobs, and we give up on what our jobs are too quickly. We give up too quickly. We give up too quickly. Right. Android 6000 said anti-cop is like level 1. Exactly. I'm talking about just turning the game on. Like, you still remember with Mario Brothers where you the little Mario? No juice or nothing. Just the little motherfucker. Like, man, please, that is beginner shit. But some people, that's as far as we make it. That's as far as we go. Is that. That's the depth of our pro-blackness. That's the only way it will exhibit itself. That's all of it. And I've argued with people about that several times, debated people about that several times. That's as far as we go. And that's all you teach your kids. You're not teaching them much of anything. You're not teaching them much of anything. It just is what it is. But you have those situations happening. And we also the ones that teach our kids to worship celebrities. The black celebrities that get super famous, we teach our kids to worship these people. And the only thing they're going to teach our kids is to money over everything. That's why they get on there on their big ass chains. Y'all talk shit about them, but they get on there with that big ass chains, all that cars, show you how they living. Look at me, niggas. I'm stunting on you niggas, basically. And we love that shit. We love that shit. Well, Jay-Z and Kanye had that song say, ball so hard, motherfuckers can't find him. Because they said, ball so hard, motherfuckers can't find him. That's what we like. These are facts. Goldie Learning says, we too busy fighting with each other. Everything else is on the back burner. I would argue that the goddamn, we don't even have a stove. Like, I would argue we don't even have a fucking stove. Ain't no back burner. We don't even have a fucking stove. At all. Because people like me, who try, get, no, you're not going to get no love doing this shit like that. And that's okay. But they don't give a fuck about that. You're just a hotel. We ain't got no damn stove. We ain't got no stove, y'all. We ain't got no stove. That's how I feel. It's sad watching this shit take place, watching these arguments happen. We take everything that's happening out here with the celebrities and we turn into a situation where we can argue amongst ourselves about it. That's what's happening with the Puff and Cassie situation. That's what happens with every situation. These relationship podcasts, all they gotta do is put a clip up and you niggas it can be 30 seconds and niggas gonna argue. Niggas will be fighting in the comment section. That's all it take. We are light work. And we don't like to acknowledge that. And that's why I don't think we can get no better. We light work. We're not even a challenge. The games they play still work on us. We are light work and we don't like to deal with that. We like to think we really something out here. And I mean, I understand for for confidence and shit like that, but we really are light work. It don't take anything. It takes nothing. Now, they got the trifecta now. Now you got R. Kelly is the face of pedophilia. Bill Cosby is the face of sexual assault. And Puff is the face of domestic violence. I mean, they did the work. They did the work. They did what they were supposed to do. And we're going to allow it. We're going to allow that. We don't got no problem with that at all. Our people are the face of all degeneracy out here. And we cool with that. They don't see what white folk, they'll single them. This one white person did this one thing and they'll be like, well, that motherfucker crazy over there. We don't fuck with that boy. It doesn't become the nature of the entire race. With black people, the one person do something right here, we automatically make it the nature of our entire race. And not only do we do it, but that's the message they send to us, is that, well, because he did this, that is the nature of black men. Because she did this, that's the nature of black women. That's what they do. And then we turn around and do it on our own without provocation. We will even dedicate entire black channels to saying the same shit. And it's just, it's mind-blowing. This is one of the reasons I don't get on YouTube a whole lot. Because I know it's a waste of trying to get black people to see, not you guys, not the people that fuck with me, not us, but trying to get black people to really see the ones that's really on some, sheep coon bullshit, to get them to see that and try to rectify that. Do you know these niggas is mad that Amber Rose is now endorsing Donald Trump? They mad at her. How? This is the stuff that I know. It lets me know that we're not paying attention to anything. How are you mad at a white woman for being white? How do we do that? And I see it on a regular basis. Big conversation. Amber Rose supports Donald Trump. She said she was pro-woman. You thought that bitch that had a slut walk was pro-woman? What's wrong with you? A cave bitch leading you in the streets. When has that ever worked out for you in your benefit, black woman? It's never happened. Not once. Has that shit benefited you in any type of way? But now it's, oh, she endorsing Donald Trump. Like, so good for her. She's supporting the white man. That's her daddy. Support yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do. That shouldn't be shocking to you. They support their daddy. Whether he was absent, whether he was a drunk, whether he beat their mama ass. You hear me? Whether he touched his own daughters, the molesting, pedophilic, incestuous, they support their daddies. That's the only thing you shouldn't get in line behind them. No, that's not going to benefit you. It never has. So because y'all did a slut walk with this bitch, you thought she was some type of feminist that cared about women. No, the fuck she won't. She was a hoe that wanted attention. That's what she was then. A white cave hoe at that wanted attention. And y'all gave it to her. Y'all gave her honorary black cards. Because she fucked Wiz Khalifa and he didn't pull out. Like, what? What? That doesn't make any sense. How was y'all, now y'all disappointed? Please. Please. She fucked Kanye, she fucked Wiz Khalifa. Y'all thought y'all gave her a goddamn black card. That's what y'all thought. That's on y'all. That's on us. Anytime we have white people somewhere doing some shit and we fall in line behind them, it's wrong. Like, I don't care. Like, I have the evidence to suggest such. It's wrong. It's going to be wrong. Now, flash forward. She support Donald Trump. I don't got no problem with that. I ain't mad at that bitch. I'm not canceling that bitch. You know why? It's the same reason I'm not sitting here canceling Puff. I don't fuck with him anyway. And if you do that, and if you have that mindset, it will allow for you to deal with reality. As we talk about these schools and our kids, reality. As we talk about training our kids to be better equipped to deal with said reality. I don't fuck with these people anyway. I can't cancel them. I didn't subscribe. And I can't wait for us to get to the point where we don't subscribe to all this fucking bullshit. I can't wait. I cannot wait. To where maybe I'm not as much of a hotep. I'm telling the truth. Maybe I could be known as a truth teller. Not no conspiracy theorist or I just tell the truth. That should be uniform amongst our people. It shouldn't be no, crazy shit or nothing like that. You see, y'all see the shirt. Y'all see this. Hold on, let me move this shit. Let me move this statement. This comment. Watch it. Y'all see it. This is what's required. This is what we got to do. We got to decolonize our mind. But we have to accept the fact that it's colonized to begin with to actually get to the work. Because again, I can see Puff. I can say, man, fuck that dude and any other motherfucker do my daughter like that, they're going to end up dead. But I also see how this black man is getting how he's being treated versus how the caves are treated. I can do both things. And I don't have sympathy for people, not just Cassie, people who refuse to say no for their integrity. Because that's been one of our biggest downfalls, is that we are the battered woman that Cassie is. And it don't even pay as much as she got paid. We are the battered woman that Cassie is. And we don't even get paid as much as she got paid. We allow the society to whoop our ass every goddamn day. And we don't do anything for years and years and years. We sit here and get our ass whooped. We don't do any goddamn thing. Them bitches can come out here and kill our kids, kill our people, run up in the church, kill people in there. They say they sorry. We forgive them. We keep moving. We are the battered motherfucking woman. As we want to sit here and talk about Cassie and the levels and layers, I could break this shit down all types of ways if we want to get into it for real. But we are the Cassie. That's what we are. We act like that. And at some point, we have to stand up for our motherfucking self. At some point, we're going to have to let them know that we see what the fuck they doing. Same thing I told Paris to do about what to do about her kid up at school. Let them know who you are. That right there would alleviate a lot of the issues that we have. Let them know. Well, one, you got to find out who you are. So I guess that's actually that's the problem. Is finding out who you are and being able to stand on that. But let these motherfuckers know who you are. Let them know. And I'm going to continue to see every part. I don't give a fuck who like it. It just is what it is. You know, we doing this. Man, NS Bob says, and the crazy part is black folks are quicker to forgive the caves faster than other black folks. It's absolutely insane. Because the Lord told them to. The good Bible. That's why when Umar said something along the line, I saw something he posted, he was talking about Puff. He said, well, basically he can come reinvent himself inside of a church. He could do that. Real shit. He probably could reinvent himself, give a testimony how he used to be this and that and the other. Now he see the light. He's with Jesus. Now y'all let Kanye do it. Y'all just let Kanye do it. Now I don't know if I don't watch Umar, so I don't know if he got into it, but the prime example is just Kanye. He just did this shit. Jesus King and all this old shit and having church all over Sunday service, all over it. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. These are facts. Team 1831 says school is to condition your mind to be a slave. I say get rid of all that shit. Well, I went to school. You see what I'm saying? So as I understand what you're saying, I went to school. And now we're here. And had I been trained by my parents like they should have, I wouldn't have had to get here on my own. I'd have been here in school. Because I knew some, by the time I got to college, I'll say, I knew some people that were, pro-black in college. And I looked at them like they was, like I didn't know what the fuck was going on with them and shit. But somebody instilled a little something in them to make them even more susceptible to that. So once I took the classes and things like that, I walked this path and now I'm here now, but come on, yo. We should be able to exist in any space. Schools, businesses, restaurants, Hollywood. We should be able to exist in any space if we got the right mentality to stand up for ourselves. We got to have the right mentality. Our children should be able to exist in any space. We should be able to exist in any space. Should no white man, or his bitch or his mama, neither one of them should be to walk up on us and disrespect us. At no time. Because that's not who we are as a people. See, right now, that's who we are as a people. This culture that we claim we got right now, who we are as a people, is we let these people do any goddamn thing. We are Cassie right now. We don't gotta be. I know that shit can change. It just requires that minds change. Focuses change. Chasing bags, all this bag chaser shit, a bunch of coons. That's what that is. When I hear that, that's what I think about. A bunch of coons. Oh, you willing to sell your soul? Bag chasing. That's coon shit to me. That's what it is. When I hear that type of talk, I know what that means. Is you down for whatever. You're willing to do anything. Sell yourself out, sell your family out, sell your kids out. You're willing to do anything. You don't care. So I'm weary of anybody who even talk like that. I don't trust them. I don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, you should have known niggas wasn't about to do that. Mama Shay's Life with Family said, we still drank Starbucks too, just forgetful. We didn't forget. It's not that we forget. We don't care. We could care less. We really don't have that type of pride. We don't care. They make good coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fuck learning how to do it at home. You know, do your own thing at the house. So you ain't even gotta go up there to them people like that. No, fuck all that. They make good coffee. We don't forget. We just don't care. We don't give a fuck about none of that. We don't give a fuck about none of that. We just don't. And we got to be better about that. And we have to be able to look at situations for what they are. We have to be able to call out the racism. Because again, in this Puff situation, I see the point, but I also see the racism. I see both things. That don't mean I agree with Puff. I don't agree with no man that acts like that. At all. But I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing. Oh, look at Paris. Talking about what happened with Starbucks. They racist. I mean, it's you know, they have blatant racist things that they've done over the years. They have, kicked the black people out, being racist towards black people in their establishment. And this is when they came out and said they were going to do the diversity training for their employees. And black people took that as well. At least they doing the work. And so we're going to keep drinking this coffee. They said they was going to do a training, which basically I think what they probably the whole meeting. Here's diversity training in a nutshell. Stop calling niggers to their face. That's diversity training for them. That's progress for them. Don't call them niggers. Don't treat them like niggers. Wait till you get home. That's basically, that's the training. I ain't never been to one of the classes, but I'm almost certain that's all they say. Like, there's really nothing. They're not doing shit. They'll say they're going to do that type of thing. That's what Starbucks did. They're going to have some trainings. And it's just wait till you get home. Okay? That's it. Just wait till you get home. That's really all it is. Really. Seriously. Like, that's all it is. That's it. That's it. Oh, somebody said put the link in the chat. I didn't. Okay, here's what I can do. Because I'm not going to be able to do that now because I'm about to get off here. But I'll do it next time we come talk. I'll put the link up and then everybody can come in here and we can have a conversation about whatever the topic is at that time. We can most definitely do that. But I'm not going to be on here that much longer anyway. I'm about to get the fuck off here. And I know if I start talking to y'all, I'll be on here for goddamn. Hell, my last live was 6 hours. I got to learn how to just say it and leave. Like, nigga, just say what you got to say and leave. Like, but I'm not good at that yet. I'm working, okay? I'm working on it, but I can't be on here that long. I can't be on here that long. I really can't. Let me see what I'll do. Let me see what Deshaun says. Hey Rob, what are your thoughts on Project 2025? I know you don't rock with either political side, but these Republicans are trying to undo all our civil rights and turn America into a fascist dictatorship. The only way they would be able to do that is if we allow it. That's the thing. So I don't really, Project 2025, I'm not trying to be flippant about this. I don't care. Okay. I'm not being flippant, or I really don't care because I know me. So I'm not, whether they can strip away whatever the fuck they want to. I know, and I'm going to stand in my rights as a man against any person and against any system. That's what we need to do as a people, no matter who is in office. I feel that way. We have to come together as a people and say no. I'm telling y'all, the word no is more powerful than we give credit to. And if you don't believe me, look at some of the cave activities throughout history. They said no. What do you think the Boston Tea Party shit was about? Them bitches raised the price up on tea. The white man and his mama said nope. What do you think the January 6th shit was about? As crazy as that was, all it was white folks saying no. They don't give a fuck. They say no together. They don't sit around the white caveman and his cave ass hoe ass mama. They say no together. Again, they stick together. So if we were that type of people, what they try to do with our civil rights and whatever that means to you, if we were a better people and we bonded that way, like this, it wouldn't fucking matter. It wouldn't matter. They can't do shit. We could take a stand. I don't give a fuck what plans and projects they got. I don't care. I know me. Now again, I may be, and it's sad for us It could be a martyr type situation. I may take the L. I may be the one that gets murdered. I may be the one that gets locked up and they put me in a fucking prison cell because it's only me. Because I ain't gonna say only me. I ain't trying to say it like nobody else would, but there's always such small groups. It's the same way the FBI was able to thwart the Black Panther Party, the original. This is why it's able to happen, because it's small groups. We should be millions strong. But we're not. And we refuse to be. We don't even think it's important. So I'm not being flippant. But there ain't no way I'm worried about them taking no rights from me personally. They will have to kill me or put me in prison. I'm that type of person. That's me. If we were all like that, we would not be in the position that we're in right now. I do believe I'm willing to die for this shit. I don't get on here. I ain't just saying shit to be cool, or y'all know I don't make money off this shit. My soul ain't for sale. I don't even want these bitches telling me what I can and cannot say. That's why I ain't even my channel is not even monetized over YouTube censorship. My shit ain't monetized. Y'all see that? It's very clear and evident. Anybody want to donate to me, they can buy t-shirts or go on Patreon and donate and support through that way. But just because they are trying to tell the substitution of words, I don't even like that. I don't even like doing that. I'm not substituting the words. I'm not going to talk softly. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So in real life, I'm not doing that. I don't care what they try to take. You have to be willing to die for something. That's how I feel. I'm not a fucking coward. So I don't care what they do. It's my job to be ready, and in particular, mentally ready. In particularly right here. Physically ready, of course. In shape enough to defend myself if I need to. In shape enough to be quick enough to get away if I need to. That shit matters to me because, like somebody said in the comments, we at war. Those are facts. I mean, we don't realize it because we too busy out here trying to pop bottles and, do whatever the fuck we doing out here in the world and keep up with the Joneses, look like something online. We too busy with all that fucking bullshit. I'm willing to die for this shit. I talk like this with my real motherfucking face. I go to work. Y'all know I drive trucks all over the goddamn country. I show up like this. I speak how I speak. I talk how I talk. Everywhere. So I have to be willing to not only die for it, I got to be willing to defend it. And somebody might decide that not words. So I got to be ready to fight. I'm ready for it. What the fuck ever happened? I'm ready for it. That's how my heart works. I ain't got nobody. I ain't praying to nobody. I'm just out here. That's how I think. So I don't really give a fuck. Again, I'm not being flippant. I'm not being flippant about what the Republicans are doing and how, I guess, fearful that the voters are supposed to be, and that's going to make them vote Democrat or whatever they need to do. Y'all, none of that shit matters to me. It really don't. Because I'm still seeing no-knock warrants happening, regardless of Democrat or Republican. Black people still being murdered by the police, and the cops are still getting off. I don't care. Whatever they got, whatever they're going to do, I know it's going to take us standing up for ourselves as a team, and not just in the face of police brutality. It's going to take us standing up for ourselves in the face of our rights as well. And I feel like a lot of us will just go along. Because that's who we've been. We've been the people that go along. And it's time for that shit to change. We've been the people who souls are for sale. I'll give you a little bit more money if you just give me your soul. That has to change. That has to change. This is, hey, exactly. Somebody said they thought Amber Rose was a mulatto. She a white bitch. It's okay. I don't know her, but I see her as white. She's been white to me the whole time. I never saw her as mulatto. Don't give a fuck. Fuck that bitch. Black women should not be supporting any cave. In half cave, whatever the fuck. It was never nothing about the people. If it's not a black woman's movement, then it's not for black women. And a lot of our people get that confused. Not just black women. but black men as well. We get it confused. If it's not specifically black man, it ain't for you. If it's just man, it ain't for you. If it's just woman, it ain't for you. And you've seen it historically. You don't want to believe it. You want to still believe, almost like remind me of Pinocchio. We still trying to prove to people I'm a real boy. Like, we still trying to prove to them that we are real. The only way they're going to fucking respect that is if we say, well, no, y'all go ahead. I'm worried about black people shit. I'm worried about what's going on with the black woman and the black man. I'm worried about that because we always the ones suffering the most any goddamn way. So that's what I'm sticking to this. And I don't give a fuck if you call me racist about it. But we ain't that brave yet. We ain't that brave yet, and I do hope that we do something about it. What you got, Shakira? What you guys? Let me see. How you feel about the black teacher who got fired for having his black students undoing his hair? The teacher stated that he got permission from their parents and the school administration. We talked about this, I think, on my last live show. But let me say this in short. And I actually commented about this on Facebook. I'm seeing him now making all these videos where he's trying to put himself up. And he showed a video of a white man that was getting his hair done by his students. And he's basically saying, well, this white man was able to get away with this. Why come I can't get away with it? And it's dumb niggas like that. It's the same reason that Puff sitting on the video apologizing. You don't get to show what a white man did and to justify you. You don't even get to do that. You're a black man. And if you're a teacher, why don't you know? You don't know this? You don't get to show this white man. What you think they're going to call you up like, well, yeah, since you showed that video of that white man, we didn't treat him like that. So come and get your job back. That's not real. I think he is a hoe ass nigga. I'm sorry. I mean, if you feel some type of way about this man, that's on you. But to me, he a hoe. Okay? Because he was recording his students undoing his hair as opposed to showing his students doing schoolwork. I have no interest in seeing students, black students in particular, who are now reading below their grade level, failing their standardized test. I don't want to see any teacher with my kids unbraiding no fucking hair. I have no interest in that at all. And he should have fucking known that shit. I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. I feel nothing about him other than he's dumb. I hope he learned his lesson, and I hope he does better moving forward. You're a teacher. Show him doing some fucking math. You got new math that you can make it easier for kids, or a new way to break down words so they can maybe pronounce them better or some shit like that. But I don't want to see a set of black daughters unbraiding no motherfucker's hair. And I'm tired of these grown men getting out here recording every goddamn thing and putting it up online. That is bullshit to me. Who gives a fuck? Who told him to do that? Who cares? Like, what was he trying to show? I don't fuck with him at all. So that's my stance on him. He could be using his teacher ability for better things outside of things that little black girl's gonna have naturally. You ain't teaching them how to undo your hair, my nigga. They already knew that. That's something that, little girls, black girls, they grow up doing hair. Like, what the fuck, my nigga? And if you're going to record it, why the fuck you got to upload it? These teachers trying to be fucking content creators makes no sense to me. Teach. I know they don't pay you enough money. But you're there to teach. So teach. Yeah, like he was teaching them how to do it. No, they was just doing it. Like, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Realist One says, speaking of school, how do you feel about these teachers who have been quitting all over the past couple years because the kids are too much to handle? I fuck with that. I think more of them need to quit. They need to quit in unison so parents can get back to raising their fucking kids. This is what we was talking about earlier. Blaming these teachers for how your kids behave in a damn school. Don't got no decorum, no type of goddamn order and structure in the house, and then send them to school. A bunch of them ought to quit. More of them should quit. I support any union, any body of people that boycott with their labor. Like, well, okay, y'all motherfuckers don't want to raise your kids. I done called you and told you how your kid acting. You won't do shit about it? Or we'll just get the fuck up out of here then, because this little $40,000 a year they're giving me ain't shit. Teachers can make more money driving Uber than teaching. And that was before the kids was crazy. Understand me, what I'm saying to you here. Before the kids don't know how to act, the teachers already don't make, you can make more money driving fucking Uber than you can teaching the goddamn. Man, please. They did. The fact that the teachers was able to hold out that long, they did better than me. Can't beat the kids' ass. Can't do shit. Send them out of class. They go up there, talk to them, and send them right back to the goddamn class. Can't do shit. Can't do nothing to these kids. And that's okay. Okay, I ain't saying they should be able to do nothing to them. But I tell you what, as far as my concern, or in my opinion, they should all walk the fuck out. All of them. At some point, parents are gonna have to be held accountable for the behavior of our children. And I know we like to fucking avoid it. No, homeschool, they can't do it. Mika, now I do support homeschooling, but I think the COVID situation showed that parents have no interest in homeschooling children at all. The reality, that's what the homeschool brigade, the reality of that should have been shown when COVID happened. That should have been a prime example of, well, homeschool might not be the answer because these kids were stuck at home and their parents still didn't teach them shit. Not saying you, Mika. I'm saying generally. Parents have no interest. When school gonna open back up? Like, I'm ready to get these motherfuckers the fuck out of here. They're getting on my nerves. That's what people were acting like during COVID. Kids so fucked up, they don't want to deal with their own children. But we can't talk about it. That's wrong, Rob. You're talking about parents. They got it hard. No, I disagree. I think more teachers should walk the fuck up out of there. That's crazy, Sharonda. Sharonda said make more driving the school bus. That's tough. That's tough. These teachers don't make enough money. And that's before your kids is acting crazy up at the goddamn schoolhouse. That's before that. Teachers don't make enough money for this shit. Real shit. I support all of that. Anybody that walks off a job, I support it. I don't care what it is. Whether it's the Burger King, don't care. The McDonald's, don't care. UPS did it, don't care. Amazon, they do it, don't care. Whoever it is, because to me, what those people said was no. That's what happened. I love that. That's revolutionary. And we don't understand that. That's all it is. It's just no. That's all it really is. It's saying no and not continuing to sacrifice your soul to be fucking mistreated. And they will try to convince you that you're lucky to be there. No, that's exactly how these DV motherfuckers get away. They will convince these women that you are lucky to be with me, even though I'm whooping your ass. That's how Puff was able to do this shit for the years that he's been doing. I mean, he can still be doing it. I don't know what he got going on now, but that's how he's able to do it. Convince you that you better off with me. Because even though I'm whooping your ass, you better right here with me. That's a decision that's made to the person or whoever the victim is in this situation. They have to sign up for that and be like, okay, you right. I'm better off getting fucked up, my ass whooped. At least you paying me, at least you buying me shit, at least you doing. No. 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 Trey says, hey, Brother Rob, do you know how many black folk were getting deleted simply because Obama was in office? I hate that y'all don't start talking like they make y'all talk. Getting murdered. Ain't nobody getting deleted. Stop talking like that. Getting murdered simply because Obama was in office. Those race soldiers was on a bloody path when Obama was in office. It was crazy back then. That should push black people to owning weapons. But it don't. It pushes us to go buy more shoes. And that's the issue I have with our people. Because you can't stop what they're going to do. But you can be prepared for what they're going to do when they start doing it. Because they act like that. Seriously. You can't stop what these people are going to do. You can't. What you can do is arm yourself and be ready to defend yourself at all times. That's all you can really do. That's all you can do. No, I'm dead ass about y'all doing this unalived and deleted. Like, why y'all stop talking like that? They forcing you. You don't talk like that for real. We never talk like that. That don't even make no damn sense. Unalive. Y'all got these people out here in this society making you create words that ain't real. Great for rape. No, it's a real, to me, it takes away what the egregious behavior is to change the wording. No, I won't do that for society. I won't. And that's the type of stances we got to take. No, that's our problem. We just go along. No, I'm not even changing my fucking words. The simple stuff. The simple stuff we can stand up in. That's what makes the bigger stuff harder for us. It be the smallest stuff that we still won't stand up against. You think I'm about to fucking unalived and raped and deleted, and I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing none of that. It's the small stance that takes that builds your character up when it's time to say no in a big way. That's how you build it. They do. They do. YouTube be flagging shit. Oh no, that's wrong. I think it was London. London said, I think YouTube flag videos for content creators using certain words, but people don't fight against them. They do. They do. But you see me, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, you see me. I'm sitting right here in front of you. I don't substitute no damn words. I'm still here. Still standing. Now, again, I don't make money off of YouTube, so that might be different because, you know, I guess maybe if you make money off of it, you decide, hey, you know, it's worth it. I didn't decide that. I don't do that. When I tell y'all I'm not for sale, I promise you it's real. I could be in a way different situation if I was for sale or if I was selling Black liberation. If I was one of those two things, I could be big as fuck. Because it's not like I lack the intelligence. These motherfuckers, to me, they can't even really talk. A lot of them don't even have personality and shit like that, right? To me. I could be big, but I'm not for sale. That's not something I just say to sound cool to y'all. I'm trying to set an example for our people. And I'm still okay. I'm still okay. That's the example I'm trying to set for our people. But I know that YouTube be on some shit. I know that, but I ain't doing it. Fuck them. People can support me through Patreon if they want to. And I'm not even saying that they need to or whatever, but people can support me that way. Like, we not doing that. We go for whatever. It's the same thing they're doing with this would be the trans issue. Like, they'll force it. We'll fight a little bit at the beginning, but then we'll give in. Like, I've seen that happen. Like, I said I wasn't going to call a man a woman. I was not playing about that. I'm not changing. I don't give a fuck what goes on. I'm not going to call a man a woman. Now, I ain't call him a bitch. I might call him a hoe. But I'm not going to refer to a man that has on a wig as a woman because that's what I'm supposed to do. It's the small stances that we don't take. And that's why we end up getting this snowball effect of how they keep going. They keep drilling because we won't say no to nothing. We'll just they'll drill us with it, and then at some point we'll just give in. Like, okay, unalived. Okay, great. Okay, delete it. Like, it's that little shit. And they're like, okay, all right, all we gotta do is stand our ground. They're gonna buckle. No, we're not doing that, Clip. We're not doing that shit over here. And I don't promote that for my people. As far as B123 is concerned, I don't promote that. Don't talk like that. We have to stand up for something. And I'm saying in every way, whether it's even in spoken language, we don't stand up for anything, anywhere, at any time. Unless it's against a nigga. We'll do that. We'll stand up against a nigga. Yeah, we're going to do that. We'll stand against a nigga. But come on now. See that. Understand it about ourselves in an effort to change that. All right? Now, look, that's really, I'm about to get the fuck off here, okay? Mad love. Y'all know, hit the subscribe, hit the like button if you haven't already. I appreciate y'all coming in here to have this conversation with me. If you made it to this point and you mad as fuck about anything I've said as far as me not having sympathy, I still don't. So just save your anger. It's not going to make me have more sympathy based on that. Just how I think, all right? I'm sharing my true thoughts with y'all, unfiltered, unscripted. Y'all know I don't be reading from shit. We just be on here talking, right? That's how we get it in. Mad love to everybody who shows their support. Again, links in the description box. You want to follow me on social media, because I keeps it real no matter where I'm at, no matter what they doing to me. Whether it's shadow blocking, shadow banning me, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to still be the same person. I'm still going to get it in. All right? My real face, my real name. And at some point, we're going to have to be brave enough to get ourselves as people out of Cassie's position. All right? Mad love to y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out.